Well, good morning, Michal. It's good to have you here. I thought today it'd be lovely to welcome you to our service and to introduce you to our congregation and just get a chance to think about how we as a church can support you and the big local. But first of all, I guess you're familiar to some. Maybe you'd like to introduce yourself for those who don't know you yet.
So my name is Michal. You can probably guess that I was not born in Britain. I have a strong Eastern European accent. I originally come from Poland, and I've been living in the UK for the last 15 years. I'm married. I have 3 lovely daughters, and for the last 2 years and 3 months, I've been supporting the big local in Wormley and Turnford. And my official title is I'm the Community Development Manager for Wormley and Turnford Big Local.
That's an impressive title. You must have an extra wide door to fit that one on from one end to the
very
other.
Long. Having said that, I had longer titles as well. You wouldn't believe. They were very, very long, in 2 previous jobs. So this one is actually quite okay.
Fantastic. Well, you mentioned the big local. I'm guessing most of our congregation know about the big local, but maybe not all. And we've been lucky enough over lockdown to have old friends rejoining us from all over the country, and I'm fairly sure they won't. So would you like to say just a little bit about who the big local are and what they do?
So the Big Local is a massive, quite a big initiative funded by the Big Lottery Fund, one of the biggest grant givers, in England. And the Big Lottery Fund decided to invest in total £220 million in 150 areas of deprivation. And in Hertfordshire, we have 2 areas which were selected to be part of this program. One of them is in Bournemouth, in Hartsmere, and Wormley is the second one. So the area has received a significant amount of funding, in £1 million in total. The funding has to be spent by 2026. And the key thing to remember and to know is that this is a residents-led initiative, which means that I report to residents. We have a group of residents, so-called partnership members, who decide, if you like, via consultation, different activities which we have been running, and a number of other things, how this funding has to be spent. And as you can imagine, each area, whether you live in an affluent area or less affluent area, would have pockets of deprivation, but also pockets of needs. And this is how the money has to be spent. It has to be based on local need, But the great thing and uniqueness of the project is that the project is run, led, and delivered by residents. And residents obviously are supported by myself and a couple of other people who are members of the team, basically. So it is inspiring project, challenging in many ways. It is really exciting, and the project is about, it sounds maybe cliche to some people, it could sound a little bit cliche, but it is about transforming lives and making a tangible difference in the area.
Yeah. I remember when we sat down with some of the folks at the Big Local right at the start and heard about the vision. I was really excited. Obviously, it's not a church project, but so many of our values correspond to what you've just been saying, that desire to work with and work for the community, to build relationships, to strengthen people, and so on. It's all very, very good stuff. Really excited by that.
Definitely, I would add something else to that as well, Ben. The project is about engagement. It's about being kind of building some sort of sense of belonging. It's about community cohesion. It's about empowerment, which I think is really important. It's about building community activism as well. It's about promoting local produce to local people as well. It's about partnerships as well. So really is definitely ticking all the boxes in terms of what you're trying to do as a local church as well, most definitely. And some of the stuff we are trying to do would resonate with some of your members of your church and your congregation as a whole.
But it's a challenging work, though, isn't it? I don't know how you've found it. I've certainly found, coming originally from a village, coming to Wormley, which is basically the old A10, with no central point to congregate around. It makes it very hard, doesn't it, to try and foster a sense of relationship. But I'm guessing you, like us, have found it even more challenging over the last 6 months or so. But how do you build community when you can't meet with the community? How's lockdown been for the Big Local and for yourself as well, Michal?
Yeah, so very interesting what you said as well, and I'll just pick up on one of the things you said before as well. I think one of the reasons why Big Lotte Fund also decided to invest a little bit in this area, and a million is actually quite a lot, is the fact that we don't have a central meeting point. So, for example, if you go to Hoddesdon, 5 minutes from us, or you go to Von Cross, at least they have a some sort of a high street, if you like. In our case, there isn't a high street, so you have almost, you could argue, pockets of communities in different parts of Wormley, Turnford, which means that our job really is to unite people, and that is not always very easy. You're absolutely spot on. It has been quite challenging in many different ways. We are now entering a really super important period in the history of the project, because we are ending one community plan, and each big local area has to write a community plan every 2 years. So the money is not parachuted into the area. It has to be kind of presented in quite a comprehensive way. So we had to immediately almost move everything from kind of doing stuff with people on daily basis to kind of move online almost overnight. Again, this project, like many others, but I think this one specifically is all about working with residents, and not being able to be around. I'm talking about kind of grassroots level, has been quite a challenge. We've used this time as a project, I think, quite well. Again, I don't want to bore your congregation with many details, but we've looked at things which are also incredibly important, particularly around governance. So building solid foundation for an organization means having a good governance in place. We've also strengthened and enhanced some of our internal policies and procedures. So we've implemented and approved a number of new policies, which again, it might sound a bit boring, but again, it is really, really super important. And also done a lot of other work, which, some residents might not be able to see. So that's kind of one thing. Having said that, we've also tried to almost straight away to think about things which we should be doing as well to support our local residents. We have not done maybe anything directly, a project which in a way responds directly to the needs of the community. Having said that, I think we've done, quite a bit. So to give you a few examples, throughout the lockdown, we've been running our fantastic sewing club, sewing projects. So our sewing club meets every Monday and every Thursday at the community center, which still community center belongs to the council, but council gave us a green light to use the community center. And the sewing club has been sewing, PPEs, for example, local care homes and hospitals. Absolutely fantastic and super successful. We've also been running since July, so we had a little break, and then we've restarted in July. Most amazing health walk every Tuesday and every Thursday. So today, even though it is quite a wet Tuesday afternoon, we had 21 people who joined the walk.
Wow.
Again, super important in terms of addressing loneliness, social isolation as well, and really kind of, lifting people's spirits, if you like, in many ways. And more recently, we've also came back to the office in August, which is really important as well. So I'm able to see people and we're able to have conversations with people. So we've done a number of things. Number one, we are now hosting social prescribers every Thursday. We run 2 employment-related projects, one called Job Smart Plus. It's a project specifically aimed at people who lost a job, as a result of the health pandemic, and also the other project called Building Better Opportunities for people who are the furthest from labor market as well. So we're trying still to support residents. Some of these activities, as you can imagine, happening on one-to-one basis. We're not able to run any group sessions simply because there are too many restrictions in place. However, I'm really pleased that we're still able to be kind of, present on the ground and really support people the best we can. So it has been kind of a mixed picture as well. We've tried to do a number of things online. We've tried to start English classes online for local residents. This hasn't happened and has not been successful. We've also tried to run an ideas hour with Michal, that with myself as well. Maybe residents had some ideas and they want to do something during lockdown. And again, some success, and also employment clinic as well online. Again, most of it actually happened not online, but all, over the phone as well. So we've tried to be proactive. I'm really pleased that we're still, able to support our residents. Lucky, I think, in many ways, we are not in places which are in tier 3, like Liverpool,
Yes.
for example, or northeast or west part of the country, where big locals again had to shut down as well. And for me personally, if I may add something as well, I'm a church goer as well. It has been a challenge. I have 3 daughters. 14, 11, and 5.5. So myself and my wife, both of us, had to work. So it was difficult occasionally to kind of find work and life balance. I think we are very blessed in many ways that we live in Hertfordshire. Going out for walk has not been very difficult. So we've kind of tried to use this time as well to spend a bit of time outside as well and kind of appreciate God's nature and his love for the humanity, if you like. I found the lockdown in terms of my kind of relationship with God quite interesting as well. As someone who goes to church every Sunday, I suddenly had to move, everything online as well. And I find it really quite strange, because I almost felt that even though that physically I was not able to go to my church, I was still able to kind of to participate in, church gatherings. Easter services were quite special, I have to say, and I'm still able now. It became a habit. So I go to church every other day, pretty much. So today in the morning, had a chance to attend a service in Belfast. I found my a church which you kind of quite enjoy, you kind of attending. Again on Zoom online, but again, it really helps to recharge my batteries and helps me to kind of carry on loving my neighbors and my community as well the best I can, even though they have quite a lot of limitations and weaknesses.
Every other day, you put me to shame, Michal. I feel quite embarrassed now. That's quite an impressive track record. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up.
I'll try. It's not always easy, but I'm doing my best.
I guess in terms of the church, we would love to know how, and it's really exciting to hear your own reflections there, actually, about how it's been an encouraging time for you. But I think we would love to know how, as a church, we can support you individually, but also you as the big local. What can we do, and what sort of things can we be praying about and getting involved in to help build our local community with you?
I think there are a number of tangible things which you can support as a church. So at the moment, as I mentioned before, we are in the middle of writing our next community plan. So if there is your members live in Wormley, Turnford, would love them to complete our online questionnaire. Quite simple and straightforward. It won't take longer than 10 minutes. That's kind of one big thing. Second thing, if you're around, please attend our AGM, which is on the 16th of November. It is exciting. Usually AGMs are a bit dull and boring, but we're going to show two films, on the night. One, a really fantastic thing, a project which we delivered with a local theatre company, Trestle Theatre, based in St. Albans. Local stories starring local people. So I think it's going to be pretty special. And we are also going to show a short film about the community centre. So that's again, a kind of a plea for your congregation to attend the AGM. I think prayer is needed for just to ensure that we as a project probably try to unpick in a way what are the needs of our community and try to find ways in which we can address some of them, mental health being one of them. For example, to give you one quite alarming data, if you like, from the council and other agencies. Before COVID, people between 18 and 24, there were 100 young people on the books of Job Centre Plus. At the moment, there are 998, almost 1,000. So we as a community have to pray to make sure that we can still respond to the needs of our community. But also I am, how can I put it? I try to think, or I would like to think that trying to live my faith in a practical way. So what can we do as local kind of, facilitators, local partners and agencies and organizations to really support people who are in need, So if there are ways in which we can support each other, maybe deliver some of these projects, which are most definitely needed, particularly around employment, emotional well-being, mental health, definitely there is an option for us to kind of explore those kind of opportunities for greater and more fruitful collaboration, because I think it is quite upsetting to me, I have to say, that this crisis will continue in many ways for a lot of people, and we need to make sure that we are ready to support people who are really most at need when need.
Yeah. Well, we actually will have remembering this goes out on Sunday, we'll have a prayer meeting tomorrow, so that'll be on Monday, and we will certainly pray around those areas. And I look forward to continuing that conversation as lockdown eases and normality kind of returns, and see how we can work together. It'd be good to do more together.
Definitely. Can I just add something else, Ben, if you don't mind? I would just want to say as well, I just want, in a way, on my behalf, but I would imagine also on behalf of the Big Local, to thank you for your presence. I think that you are really an integral part of our community, pivotal to many things which are happening locally. I was just in a meeting which finished 20 to 1, and you came up and your church as also came up. So you've been really active, very proactive in terms of engaging with young people. You've set up so many projects and activities, and this again, I would encourage you all to continue on this fantastic path. Never give up, even if things don't always work out. We cannot give in, and we need to continue using every opportunity to make a difference.
Thank you. Can I reciprocate saying exactly the same things? We obviously go to parallel meetings. I'm always hearing about the big local, and together we can make a difference, can't we? Which
Absolutely.
is what it's all about. So what I'll do, Michal, I'll put underneath this video when we show it on Sunday the links to your consultation and your AGM, so folks can follow that up and get involved. It'd be good to support that. Well, what I'll do, we'll stop this in a moment, and then in the service itself, we'll pray for you then. But I will also pray for you this morning in a moment. But I do need to ask one more question, because I should get told off if I don't ask. We're longing to be able to meet together as a family, as a church. Our own building, as you know, is not the largest. It's a bit restrictive under COVID practices. Any news yet on when the community centre might be opening?
Very, very good question. I'm told that we are so close to signing off the lease, So we had a meeting with the council last week, which I couldn't attend. We are meeting early November as a community spaces subgroup to discuss all of that. Very, very, very close. And I then hope that, the centre will have to discuss with the kind of, all the stuff around COVID compliance, just to ensure that the building is safe to be used. But I'm really hoping that the building is going to be in our hands in a very near future. We'll definitely keep you in the loop, and as soon as the lease is signed, believe me, you'll be the first ones to know.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Michal. Prayers with you.
Thank you so much.
For the rest of the day, because I know it's a busy one for you. But
thank you. All the best to each one of you. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Michal.